Enough for now, a magical story exclusive.
The morning sun peeked through the dusty blinds, casting soft stripes across the small, cluttered apartment. The smell of brewed coffee filled the air, mingling with the faint scent of laundry detergent. Marco sat at the edge of his bed, slipping on worn-out sneakers, the laces frayed but still holding strong, like him. He was a warehouse worker, clocking in and out with quiet consistency. His days were simple. Wake up at 5, bike to work, stack boxes, joke around with coworkers during lunch, then come home to a peaceful silence broken only by the hum of the city. Despite the routine, Marco was content. He didn't have much, but he had enough. A roof, a warm meal, and someone who loved him. Rena. Rena was everything. She worked at a local diner and loved sketching little cartoons on napkins when the place was slow. Every Friday, they'd meet after work, sit on the rooftop with cheap takeout, and talk about life and dreams. One Friday, as the city lights blinked to life below them, Rena turned to Marco, eyes shimmering.
I want to build a future with you,
She said, pulling out a small handmade box.
Will you marry me?
Marco froze. He loved her deeply, but his reality loomed large. Unstable income, no savings and no real plan. His heart ached as he gently closed her hand around the box.
Not yet,
He said.
I want to say yes, but not like this. Not when I can barely afford a bus ride across town. You deserve more than this version of me.
Rena didn't argue. She only nodded, tears glistening as she smiled sadly.
Okay,
She whispered.
not yet.
Weeks turned into months. They drifted quietly. She never asked again. Then one day she left a letter on his table.
I'm going back to the province. My aunt offered me a teaching job. I need the change. I'll wait for you, Marco. Every Sunday at 5 p.m. on the hill behind her house, for as long as I can.
He never forgot the letter, or the time, or the place. But work got in the way, life got in the way, or maybe it was just fear. A year later, Marco finally went. The hill was just as she described. Windy, peaceful. The swing still stood, but she wasn't there. On the swing was a napkin sketch of two hands almost touching. Below it, her handwriting.
I waited until I couldn't.
He sat there numb until a small voice interrupted.
Are you Marco?
A little girl asked, holding a flower crown. He nodded, breath caught.
She said if you came, to give you this.
The girl handed him an envelope. Inside a photo. Rena, in a white dress, smiling beside another man. A wedding in a garden, simple but full of joy. And a note.
Marco, I loved you more than anything. I always will, in a quiet part of me. But I stopped waiting when I realized love also means knowing when to let go. He doesn't have more money, but he stayed. I hope you find what you're looking for, and I hope you forgive yourself one day.
Marco's chest tightened. He looked at the photo again. She looked happy, really happy, and somehow, despite the ache, that made him smile. He folded the letter carefully, placed it back in the envelope, and sat on the swing as the wind played gently around him. Maybe he'd missed his chance with her, but maybe it was time to stop chasing enough and start being enough, even if it was just for himself.
Life lessons hidden in the story. Love isn't just about holding on. It's also knowing when to let go. Sometimes, the hardest lesson is realizing that being enough starts with choosing to show up, not someday, but now. Life is short, love bravely, and believe you are enough.